Hello all, we are here for one more lesson of this VariCAD 2016 training course, and in this lesson we are going to see about hatch or patterns, how do you wish to call them. To show you the commands, I will create some simple geometry in 2D. So basically I can make a couple of rectangles and I will make a circle, something like this, intersecting these two initial rectangles. So we have a couple of commands under the objects menu, draw, and then we have a submenu called hatching with a couple of options. So the first one is hatch select boundaries. In this option we need to select the boundaries on a manual way. So now we could use this command. For example, if I want to select a contour, I can, in the case of the rectangle, I can use the rectangle because it's kind of a polyline. Or if I wish to do it manually, a complex contour, one other option was to prepare the entities previously, breaking the entities to allow me to select all around. Okay, for example, manual way, I would do something like this and use a pattern. It doesn't matter at this moment the pattern itself. So I select the rectangle and it's showing me as a preview what it will do if I do the OK. The other way, in a more automatic mode, it is to use these functionalities, especially this one, where I can select a contour in a more or less automatic way. For example, select the first contour, and my idea is to select the outer boundary, okay, all around. So select this contour, which side, this side and outside, and as you can see it detects me the complete outer contour, and I could continue, for example, to select the inner contour the exact same way inside and do the OK. And the result is something like this. So even I'm using a manual way, I can add some automatic mode to this selection. Okay. So the second command, it is to make the hatch detecting the boundaries automatically. We have always the same options, okay, but I can select, for example, if I click on an inner space, it will detect me automatically the boundary outside that point I've selected, for example, and do the OK. Okay, this is the automatic mode. I will insert it. And now I have another option, which is to change the edge area or the style. Okay, I can select one of the edges, do the OK, and I go to the same dialog box, and at this moment I can change what is done. For example, I have all here. I can change the edge pattern, okay, and select next one, the one I want, I don't know. I can change, sorry, test, do the OK. Or I can change, for example, the distance to make it more dense or not, okay, or even the angle, okay, also to change it. I will leave this as default in 45 degrees. I have some more options a little faster. For example, this kind of pattern, which is the very normal one, do it on the right, on the left, vertical or horizontal immediately. Or for example, to make a double hatch, okay, which is also interesting, okay. For example, if I insert it, I can also come here and create a different pattern from all the ones I have in my system by default. For example, I can select one of the patterns, it can be this one. I can edit and say regarding that pattern, it depends on the number of type of lines I have on the pattern. On that one I have only one type. And for example, I can have, instead of saying it is 15 degrees, I can say it is 30 degrees, and I can say it will repeat twice instead of just one. And it is a completely different pattern. For example, let's create a new one. I can say instead of just one group, I want two groups, and in one group I want 60 degrees with two different repeating patterns, and on the second one I want 10 degrees and I will leave one repeating pattern. Let us see what it does, something like this. This is something that if you want to create a particular pattern, it is important that you test. Okay, I don't have any recipe to tell you I want this and the exact steps are these ones, because this is more or less unlimited in the type of things you can create here. Okay. Just to show you a little better, because I think it was a little not so well explained regarding this window. There are a couple of things you can have here, which is, for example, this kind of density you have here. For example, if you put it on the lower extremity, but you still want more dense, you can say recalculate, and then it will open you to become more dense, and you can go in this direction. Or for example, if you come in this direction here, okay, it will do the opposite thing. Because it depends on the scale you are viewing the entities in your screen. Okay, you have this possibility always with a test, and again you can choose from different patterns. You have a lot of them to apply to your area. So you can do always the test, do the OK, and apply it. There are a couple of options also. For example, one quite interesting. It is, for example, let us choose on the same way this kind of thing. And you know, if you apply the pattern here at this moment, there is no internal boundary, but I can create one internal boundary. For example, doing something like this, temporary segment closing area. So I can create, for example, a temporary circle here and do the OK and insert it, and you'll see it. This was a temporary definition that allowed me to insert this open space without having the entity, which is something quite interesting to do also. For example, I can redefine this pattern also in the exact same way. For example, now doing this and change like that. Okay, these are quite interesting options which I think allow you to make all kind of graphical arrangement to your drawings. There is one additional command in these patterns that allow you to make these patterns in 3D sections that we are going to see a little later in this training course.